Hello everyone, long time no see. Didn't see you for a while, I kind of disappeared. The reason I didn't make much video recently is because I'm in the uni. I'm doing my master fine art, so only started a few weeks ago. But it has a loads of information and it's all come together, so it's kind of very intense. So today finally got a little bit time, so I will make a video about the Gong again. So last time that piece, it was a little bit complicated for the beginners, and this one is a lot simpler. It's also from Song Dynasty. I'll show you the piece. So this one is just a Lotus flower. So that painting is like this. So as you can see, majorly it's just one big flower with some leaf. It's not much on it anyway. So the method started with, I used silk today. So there's a piece of silk. I measured the same size with the original one. So the silk is really see-through. The first method is you just trace on the silk. So I've got a black and white just outline sketch. So you just use your silk over this black and white one. So I use pencil first. If you can find a fine line pencil like this. This is 0.5, the size of the tip. So it's quite fine, but also you can use 0.3, maybe even better. So let's get started. I'm using 2 pecks to holding my silk and I want to trace one underneath. So start with my fine tipped pencil. I do the lines as you check it closely. See, outlines it's more deeper color, darker color, so you can do a bit thicker and stronger. Very carefully not to make any unwanted lines. And some of the inner ones, it's very thin and light, so don't press too much, just to give light line. It's darker, become a little bit lighter. Now again you need to give a little lift to look. Did you do all the lines, or if you missed some, you need just to fill them in. So yeah, you can see here only did one, so need to put that another outline again. If you make a mistake, that's fine. You can use a rubber, just to make sure not rub on it. It's just give a little touch to change it. The leaf's got some veins and it's a lot thinner than the outside leaf line, so you can do it fine and light. Lotus flower. So very light color. I'll just put a little bit around it. This side of the things are a lot darker, so I did place a bit more, make it more colour on. And that part is a little bit thinner line. So you really need to pay attention on which line is thicker and darker, which line is lighter, and also which line is over and which line is behind this line. So this is clearly which leaf or which vein go over which. So this you can't really make a mistake. So for this longer lines, you just move your whole arm. So use palm to hold in the paper and you smoothly move, rather than you just the finger, because it's too long for your finger to move. So you just use it on. So now I think I'm finished. And just to have a quick look again, did you miss anything? Oh yeah, I forgot the little dots on the stalk. So yeah, some it's a bit longer, like a little spike, some like a round dot, and bigger and smaller. So yeah, make sure don't miss anything. And also the third stalk I forgot too. Oh, missed quite a few. Well, I think I'm done now. Yep, I don't think I missed anything. So now you can take the packs off and give a proper check. You did everything you need. So yeah, some line you can see it's thicker, darker. Some line is fine and thin, very light. That's what the results you want. Good morning everyone. Yesterday when I finished the pencil sketch, it was too late, so the light wasn't good. So I'm hoping today I can finish my second method of the lotus flower. But seems the weather's still quite dark, so I still need the light on. So yesterday the light wasn't great, and my shadow, I didn't realize my shadows on my painting. So today I moved the light to another side. Hopefully it's not on the way. And also apologize for my nail varnish. So I removed all now. It was not good looking yesterday. Sorry about that. Today, after the pencil sketch, fine lines, we need put the ink on the lines. So the outline of the sketch yesterday, and the brush I use very fine tip one, so you can use all different sizes, depends on how thick the line is, so you need to choose the size of it. This is 3 different sizes. They're all slightly shorter and a bit longer, but very fine hair. And this one especially for this outline, because you can see the brush itself is quite long and thin, very sharp pointing end. So that's what you need. It's very easy to use for this. And for ink, just to give one drop, that'll be enough for the whole line, because you don't want a very dark, so the color can go over it, but you still need the mark to remind you where what the outline is. So put very light, which you diluted with water for the Chinese ink, so you can try on the side of the paper, see how dark it is before you put on your silk. Okay, just to put one drop ink in your ink collect. Then you will give mix diluted with water. So just to have a little bit ink. Then you put quite a few drops of water on it. Then you can test how deep the color is. Still, I think it's quite dark, so I need a bit more water. So this amount of ink, it should be last for the whole picture. Try again. A bit lighter, because you start with the lighter color, it's easier to cover. So before you put on the painting, you need to really test how light you need for which lines. Yeah, that should be okay. You just need really light, kind of grey. I use another the line brush to get a little bit darker color on another side of my palette. This will be slightly darker than this lighter one. So on the leaf, some veins and some outside line will be darker than the inside one, so this is for the darker one, so I can compare. Is that okay now? Slightly darker than that. Okay, I think that's okay. So underneath my painting, there's one sheet. It's like a woolly sheet. So this one can have a very fine hair on the top of this sheet, so it's holding the silk or the rice paper, so the color won't sunk down on the table. So this is actually quite handy, and it's better than tablecloth or any newspaper some people using put underneath, but this is overall best for Chinese painting, this woolly sheet. And the best color is white, so it's not confuse you if there's some color on it, because the silk is see-through. Okay, so we have a very good look of the original piece, which you can see these lines are darker and these lines are lighter and fire, and especially this part is really light color and very fine line, so which you use different brush for the different darkness. So I'm going to start with the light one, which is very middle part, and you don't want it too wet, so just use a side paper. You can reduce the wetness. You use a paper weight to hold it in case it's moving. the holding seeds. This is a lotus flower seeds. So the little triangle, some are very light, some a little bit darker color. But overall still very light. You don't want to cover it. When you color on, the black will be on the way. So in case that happening, just make sure it's really light color. But you can still see it. If you really can't see, then you might need a little bit darker color. So put a little bit more ink on to create the shade you need. Now I do some a little bit darker color on the veins so you can see the difference. Yeah, this did query about your steady hand, and like I say, hold your breath when you do one stroke. So it will help you have steady hand. Like those big ones, also a little bit darker than the seeds part. So here you use the same color as the leaf veins to do this leaf here. As you can see, I use my whole arm to move, not just the fingers. This will be a bit easier to do the long lines. This part will be much darker than other parts, so I just mix a little bit more ink. So just for this. So what you can also do is holding two brushes same hand. So one is a light color and one is a darker one. So it's easier to change. If you make a mistake, because it's very light anyway, so it's easy to use a clear, just a water one to give a little swipe. Then you can use a tissue, just dab it, the color will be gone. But before it's completely dry, you can't just put the color on, just leave it till dry. So now I switch for the darker color one. The last is the little spike on this flower stalk. So still some big, some small, some are longer, some just a dot. Last but not least, it's the outline there. That's a little like fan shape. So you're going to fill colour in that part as well. So don't forget this part. So this is second method done, which you can have a look closely. Say a lot lighter in the middle, a lot stronger colour on the outside.